Y'all bear with my slow computer. So welcome, welcome. We are back again, another Monday where we talk about all things crypto related. And y'all see my little typo right there. I'm gonna fix that later. But I'm gonna cover the 6 best ways to combat a crypto winter, right? Um, but before I get into that, I wanna give y'all a brief understanding of, you know, my experiences with dealing with a bear market and how it affected my psyche and things that I did that I've learned that I won't do this go around, right? So just to give y'all a quick understanding of that. So I got into cryptocurrency back in 2017. I purchased my first bit of Bitcoin back then, and I was excited about you know the price action. I knew very little about um, what Bitcoin was, what cryptocurrency in general was for the most part. Like I had a very like baseline understanding of it. But yeah, so like I purchased my first crypto, Bitcoin in particular, back then in 2017. And this was in the last bull run. So and I pretty much caught the tail end of it. So I got in, I think I purchased roughly around September, October timeframe of 2017. And during that time frame, I was hearing, on the radio, people at work telling me about Bitcoin, and some people knew nothing about it, couldn't really describe what it was, but they were making money on it. And I was like, yeah, I gotta understand this, because at the time I hadn't been investing in many other things. Oh no. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah, where did this come from? It said it kicked me out, but all right. Yeah, so prior to that, I hadn't invested into many other things, and I purchased Bitcoin, and I was riding that wave up, and I was catching FOMO, so I just continued to invest into it. And early January 2018, we started to crumble. The market started to crumble. Bitcoin started to fall significantly. And I didn't know what to do at the time. I was like, I didn't really have any other people that was like friends of mine or mentors to kind of guide me into understanding how to navigate the market during those times. So my first reaction was like, it's gonna go back up. It's gonna go back up. So I kept telling myself that, but it was not going back up. Every day it was dropping thousands of dollars. And the end of 2017, Bitcoin was roughly the height of it was roughly around 19,600 or 800 and some dollars. And everybody was pushing and saying it's gonna break 20K, it's gonna break 20K, but it never did. And when it started to collapse, everybody believed that it was just a retracement, and it ended up not being that. It was the beginning of the bear market. And if you've seen me speak about the different cycles in cryptocurrency, you have 4 of them, and I jumped in during the end of the bull cycle, right? The bull market or season. And then the bear market came, and we seen that significant crash to little of nothing. I can't remember exactly what it went to, because once I sold majority of my assets that I held, which primarily most of it was of Bitcoin, but I was into a few other cryptocurrencies. One that I really fell in love with, I really didn't understand what it was. It was called Electronium. But I ended up, selling majority of those assets and thinking to myself, like, yeah, this is a scam. I started listening to the masses, like, yeah, this is a scam. This is monopoly money. This magic internet money, and I'm calling it all these different terms. And I was like, yeah, I can't I can't continue to, invest into this asset and I don't know anything about it really. I'm just basing my, purpose of investing off of the price action and the volatility. So I was like, yeah, I'm done with crypto. So I left the crypto market, sold majority of my assets because I felt like most people are feeling right now. Like anyone that got into the crypto ecosystem in the past year and a half to 2 years, like they're more than likely down in their portfolios, right? On most of their assets, because most of the assets that are in crypto, most of the crypto assets are roughly 90% down or more. There's a few that sustained around 70% level right now, but most of the assets are down. So if you got in within that range of roughly about 2 years, you probably feeling some type of pain unless you sold at the top, which I highly suggest, because the market goes in these cycles, you want to trim some off the top. I don't care what asset you're in. If you're even if you're heavily invested into Bitcoin, I would suggest trimming some off the top. Like when we hit 69K, that would have been a great time to trim off the top. Now, there's nobody that has like a crystal ball to tell you exactly where the top is or the bottom is. But once we start getting into those lofty numbers where we're in blue skies, you start to average out some, right? And that's what I learned going through this current cycle now, because I didn't do that last time. Like I was in the market for a few months and yeah, it turned me completely away from crypto. But now that I understand that the market moves in these cycles, like I know how to best manage my portfolio, right? But I just wanted to give y'all a brief understanding of, my experience with dealing with the bear market. And this will be my first bear market where I have some form of, or some education or some like experience identifying what we're going through. And I can kind of relate to people who recently got into the market. Because yeah, I know it's ugly out there. I know it is. Like, I know you look like, I forget who was just mentioned. I can't remember his name now because my brain been foggy all day. But he was saying that he was down 15K. Like that's a significant amount of money to be invested and be down in an asset that's very speculative. And depending on which assets that he's in, they could possibly not recover again. Like if you look at a top 100 cryptocurrency list from 2015 or 2012, it's gonna look very different because a lot of those cryptocurrencies didn't make it to where we are now. Whether it was because their technology was obsolete, like it was not a necessity to have, or the teams fell apart, they were scams to begin with. So those things like you want to keep in mind anytime when you're investing into cryptocurrency. Like for me, I have 3 different methods in which I invest. So I have my long-term holds. I'll hold no matter what. I may trim a little off the top, like I mentioned earlier, but I'm holding those primarily no matter what the market does. And that's typically Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few others that I'm kind of adding to that list, like Cardano. But then I also have assets or like a lower tier, which are my tradable assets. Those that I feel like are very good assets and they could sustain many, many years in this market, or they have some level of technological advancing of the ecosystem of crypto. Those I would, hold, but I'll be much like I'll consider trading those assets completely out like I did with Solana. Like I bought Solana at $23 and sold at 200 some dollars, and I was completely out. But I took that profit and invested into my long-term HODL coins like Ethereum and Bitcoin, right? So those are my tradable assets. And then the third, that's my umbrella of extremely speculative meme tokens. These I'm willing to let those like die out, or I'm quickly getting in and I'm quickly getting out. So if y'all want to roll with that same concept, like I think that's a decent concept to go with when you're considering what you're investing into throughout any time period during the market. But during this bear market, you want to focus on those HODL coins, those coins that, you know, they will sustain through a bear market and come out on the other end and still be a top tier coin. Now, some of my tradable assets, they would fit that description also, but those assets, like I am more willing and I'm more willing to like, you know, trade out of those assets to stick with those that I believe that are top tier HODL coins. But let's get into this thing. So, all right, like I mentioned, we got 6 ways to survive.
Can I add something real quick?
Go ahead, bro.
So also too, like you can do this in a bear market, or also like say if you just started investing into any types of different cryptocurrency assets, where don't ever be afraid to utilize a stable coin, right? And what I mean by that is you may have some profits, right? And you want to keep the tokens that you have, right? But you may be in profits at the moment, but you're seeing the market go down, right? Don't ever be like one of the ones where it's just like, you know what, I'm just going to hope. If you can read candlesticks and you also see like, oh no, we're going down for right now, and you're holding a good bit of these assets, go ahead and swap it over to like a stable coin, to a Tether, to a USDT, right? Or USDC. And the reason I say that is that's also called risk management, and you're protecting yourself when you do that, right? And you're also protecting your profits, and you can always buy right back in when you see a nice little reversal.
Yeah, that's a fact, Moody. I appreciate that, bro. Like you consistently can do that throughout any time during these 4 cycles of the crypto market. Go ahead, bro.
Like one more thing, like say, I know I use MT4 to, you know what I'm saying, buy and sell cryptocurrency. I know D'Angelo does as well. He also uses Qcoin, I think, but, or that's Jordan that uses Qcoin mostly, right? And there's a lot of people that use like well, let me not talk about things I don't know, but there's other platforms out there, right, that people use as well. And even if you have like, one thing I want everybody to keep in mind, like, we do not preach about keeping your money on a centralized exchange, right? But I do also know that a lot of people are still holding their tokens on crypto.com or, you know, Coinbase. It doesn't matter how many times we say, if it's not your keys, it's not your cheese, right? Because I also remember myself, and it's like, I don't know if I want to say it. Like, you feel secure, it's under your name, but it's still not yours. But even on those platforms, you can do exactly what I just said too, where you own a cryptocurrency. But one thing that you have to keep in mind is the taxable events that you can create for yourself that they will be able to see, right? Because that's a centralized exchange. So I always try to perform it like through a private wallet in DeFi and that nature. But don't get confused that if you're holding your tokens on Coinbase, that you can't do what I just said. Yeah, that's creating a taxable event, but over in the long term, you're protecting your capital gains. So just always keep that in mind.
That's a fact. I'm gonna answer these questions in the chat too. So who is that? Pam, my mama. She said, swapping. I need to YouTube more info on this tip. Thanks for sharing, y'all. Yeah, most definitely. If you got any questions directly about swapping, we'll tell you about it. And isn't swapping to stable coin the same as sell out and hold cash? It's similar. but you're still in the cryptocurrency asset. If you swap out of a cryptocurrency into a stable coin, like that stable coin has more functionality than you swapping into cash or USD, right? Or any fiat if you in another country, right? So with swapping into a stable coin, you have the possibility of earning staking rewards on particular platforms. If y'all don't know what staking is, I made a video a couple weeks ago about staking, but we can cover that when we get into the AMA. So I'm gonna keep this thing rolling. Well, hold on. That was me, 15K, switch. I'm invested. Okay. Cool. Trying to average down every day. Hey, DCA, bro. We're gonna cover DCA in this also. But let me get back to it. So, like I said, these are the 6 ways to survive the bear market. There could be more, and likely there is more, but these are the 6 ways that I want to cover to kind of give you a better understanding of the mindset you should have and the things that you should be doing, right? So the first thing is keep calm and do your own research. Now, when I mention do your own research here, I'm particularly saying do your own research as it pertains to the ongoings of the current market, right? So, and then specifically keep calm. Don't get, go haywire, just like I need to sell everything. Not in most cases, you don't necessarily have to sell everything or get out of your positions completely. But during this time frame, if the bear market has already started, like the individual had mentioned that they were down 15K, like I mentioned before, depending on the asset that you're invested into, you're down and you in a bad place, but there's a great possibility that whatever you invest into will recover coming in the next bull cycle, right? Now, the bull cycle, it could not come until 2024. Now, that's scary to a lot of people because I was banking on cryptocurrency to make me a lot of money really fast. And that's not always the case. You can make a lot of money really, really fast, but it's about when you get into the market. Like I said, a lot of people got into the market on the tail end, like I did the first time of the bull cycle. Like likely when they heard about Shiba Inu, because that brought in a lot of people, or when people got into Dogecoin, that brought in a ton of people into cryptocurrency. And Elon was, constantly speaking about Dogecoin, and you hearing about people putting in $1,000, they making 100,000. Like you hear those stories, and that kind of created that FOMO to bring more people into the market. So a lot of people miss that wave. So you can't always time like the exact moment to get in the market, but if you stay in the market consistently and keep your ears to the streets relating to what's going on in crypto, like you'll be fine. You'll be well off. But let's keep rolling though. And I see we got some messages in the chat. We'll get to those. So like I said, keep calm, right? Whether you see the bear market as a chance to buy the dip or you find falling crypto prices stressful, remain calm and assess the situation objectively. And I just mentioned that, like, you have to look at the complete overview of what's going on in the market. Yeah, we are red all over, right? But as you begin to understand those cycles that I continue to speak about, like you understand that this is what the market does, right? This is how cryptocurrency markets move. Like even in the stock market, they go through somewhat of a season. They go through cycles to some degree. They have sectors that run in a bull market and then they consolidate or go into a bear market. One part of the year, it may be tech. Right now, we see energy increasing like crazy, right? And it's been doing so throughout this year. So all markets have somewhat of a cycle, and you just have to understand how to navigate those cycles. Like for cryptocurrency, you don't want to buy significantly in a bull market. When you see red, like we are in the red now, these are times that you want a dollar cost average. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but none of this is financial advice, because I am not a financial advisor. But I can just tell you based off of my experience and suggest to you what I would do in these situations, right? So then you want to ask yourself, like, why are you invested in crypto? Like, do you see that this could potentially be something long term? And in my eyes, yeah, cryptocurrency will be here for a very long time. Like, this is the next step into a new form of currency. Like, every currency that we've had since the beginning of time of utilizing currency, our currency had a expiration date. Like, it has a shelf life. Like, it no longer suits the people that are utilizing not cryptocurrency, but that currency. So like I mentioned before, at one point in time, we were using large stones or rocks as a form of currency, but people would move these large stones or rocks from one house to the next, and this would indicate that you have this value in this stone or rock, right? This how much value you have, but you can't really move that swiftly. So, over time that was done away with, right? Then we had a time frame where we had cowrie shells, right? And if I ain't gonna get into that, but there was a time period where cowrie shells were used to buy goods, and things of that nature. So it was a form of currency then. And then we went into, I ain't gonna give you the whole historical breakdown, but we had different currencies that led up to where we have now, which is, fiat, the dollar, paper money, coins, change, right? So we're in a more digital age. We need our money to do more for us. We need our money to respond faster. We need our money to move faster. We need to move our money at a cheaper rate, consistently. We eventually we're going to move away from, even having a debit card or credit card, right? We want to be able to walk in. We want the convenience now, and that's what's been occurring like over time. We want the convenience. So we can have right now, you have some payment system where you can just, wave your card, or you can just, pay using like Cash App or PayPal digitally like that. But, you still have a single entity that you have to go through to do that. With cryptocurrency, you cut out that middleman. And you have a elevated level of security that's backing your assets. So that is the improvement that we have. I know I went on a tangent. I'm talking about keep calm, but I just want y'all to understand the direction in which we're going. Let me check the chat real quick, though. Is XRP a stable coin? I've been holding over a year. It is not a stable coin, but the price action on XRP, being that it hasn't moved significantly, it looked like a stable coin to some degree, but no, it's not a stable coin. It's a cryptocurrency, but most people like to say it's a digital currency, like, because it doesn't act and do things in the same fashion in which you would have some of these more advanced cryptocurrencies. But it's simply a better system. It's more of a digital payment system than it is a cryptocurrency. But yes, it's not a stable coin. So Eric says, you're down if you sell. I don't know if that was a question or a statement. Pam says, keep your ears to the streets. Yes, keep your ears to the streets. Twitter can be your best friend or detriment when you learning or getting information about cryptocurrency. You want to stick to reputable sources when you're looking at Twitter. Then it's dropped on stable coins, USDT, USDC. UST is dead, but yes, those are all stable coins. Eric, you lose the money in any asset only when you sell. That is partial. Yeah, that's true. But, people, that's true. I'm not even going to rebuttal that. That is true. You don't lose until you sell unless that asset does what Terra Luna does and goes to absolute zero or below zero. So, yeah, that is true though, Eric. So, but we're going to keep it moving. I didn't mean to do that. But like I said, keep calm. And everything else that I said after that, because I went into a tangent, but y'all bear with me because I'm excited about crypto. But let's keep it moving. Do your own research. This is the second part of that first thing that you must do during this crypto winter, right? So like it says here, every good strategy begins with doing your own research. I am like a stickler about telling people, yeah, D-Wiz can tell you about this in crypto. Moody can tell you this about crypto. Jordan can tell you things about crypto. But until you read those things and create your own identity or ideas surrounding the topics, like, don't just listen to people just speak. Like, you listen to me now, but I want you to go research anything that I talk about. And you can even challenge what I say. Like, that builds yeah, could you mute? I'm not sure was that. I got you. Well, I think I can mute her. Ebony G, could you mute, please?
Yeah, can you please mute? Like, cause I literally just almost crashed trying to mute you. I try to do it, D.
All right, I think we're good now, bro. We're good now. I lost my train of thought. So, but like I said, you want to do your own research no matter what. Like, keep that in mind, no matter who's providing you content relating to anything in anything, any of these financial markets. Like, do your own research, make it a practice to go and research every little thing that's being said by anybody. Like I said, I don't claim to be an expert, but I stay on the cusp of the information that's being put out relating to crypto, and I form my own ideas or identity or concepts that I believe relating to cryptocurrency. So, and it says it here, be skeptical of crypto influencers when they speak about market trends, price predictions, or they're trying to convince people to get into a particular asset, right? And like it says here also, it's very easy for FUD to sneak up and creep up and change the idea or the thoughts on a particular cryptocurrency. It happens every day. Like, you see some FUD being spread, which, if you don't know what FUD is, it's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So you see that every day. Like, every day I see some news relating to a crypto asset saying something bad about it, or something that's potentially bad about it, that causes the market to react and sell. Like, you see this in the stock market also, but this is more prevalent in cryptocurrency because cryptocurrency is a lot more speculative, right? So then it says here, nobody can predict the market's direction. Like, you can, use technical analysis and fundamental analysis and come to a conclusion in which you believe the market is going to move, which is very clear. The market's been in a downtrend now, and I personally believe that we're going to continue down. But if you notice the past day or so, we had a slight pushback above 20,000. So I believe that is short-lived, but I can't predict the market. this could be the bottom, but like I mentioned before, I haven't mentioned yet, but I'm gonna tell y'all now, we can't predict the bottom. So you want to get into practice of being in the market and purchasing, or dollar cost averaging as often as possible, so you don't miss the bottom, or as close as you can get to the bottom, right? But I hope that makes sense to y'all. Do your own research. Like, it don't take a whole lot. I'm lying. Sometimes it does take a whole lot, especially if you don't have a foundation or a baseline to go with, or you don't have a community like we have here to kind of assist you in understanding concepts better. Let me see what's in here. Okay, no sweat, Ebony. It's all good. My apologies. Yeah, it's all good. I hope the little one do well in gymnastics, so don't even worry about it. Then it says, I think the majority of uneducated people relates crypto to ransomware. So when they hear or something bad related to crypto, they go back to that mentality. I think that's a possibility. And then, people don't understand that some things in crypto is just not possible in our traditional markets, right? It's not like some of the things that you can do in decentralized finance, you can never do at your local bank. You can never do at your local credit union. Like, there's some things that sound so far-fetched that people look at these things in crypto and it's like, it has to be a scam. And a lot of them are scams, like, just to be frank, right? A lot of them are scams, but within those scams, there are legit technology opportunities that allow you to do things that you'll never have the opportunity to do in a centralized entity, or operating, or working with a centralized entity. Like the class I talked about last week, when we spoke about borrowing against your assets, and you can actually use the collateral that you put up to pay back that loan that you borrowed against. Like, you'll never find that anywhere else besides cryptocurrency. And how long will that last? I don't know that, but I tell you, I'm getting it while the getting is good right now, as long as I can possibly. Yes, this will be saved, and I will drop it into my channel soon as it uploads. No problem. Let's keep on rolling though. I mentioned this just a second ago. Do not attempt to time the bottom. Like, please don't, because you can miss the opportunity. You can miss many opportunities heading to the bottom, or you can miss that opportunity because you're not actively looking at the market and say, like right now, like I mentioned before, like we could have been at the bottom at 17K when Bitcoin hit $17,000 a few days ago, right? But say you were like expecting Bitcoin to go to $10,000 and you ain't put a dime into Bitcoin, but you really, really, really want to invest into it. You have money set aside to invest, but you're looking at this, you're looking at the price action, you're like, nah, it's gonna go to 10,000, because Big Boy said that it's gonna go to 10,000. This particular YouTuber said it's gonna go to 10,000. Like, I believe him, like, wholeheartedly. And now you go on vacation for a week and you don't look at crypto for a whole week, and you come back and we back at 30,000. You're like, man, I missed my opportunity. Now I gotta buy higher, right? So now you buy higher and we go back down to 17K, and you looking at yourself like, yeah, I should have planned better, right? Now, let's get into it though, because I want y'all to understand it a little bit more deeper. So like it says here, no one can pinpoint the rock bottom. You can study technical and fundamental analysis and listen to the advice of experts, but in the end, you may need to rely on your instincts. Like not just your instincts, like you also need to put in practice a plan, like put in practice the form of dollar cost averaging, right? And we're gonna speak about that more in a second. But you want to have a plan. You want to set aside the expected allocation of money that you want to put forth in these crypto assets well beforehand. So I want to put a total of $5,000 into crypto, and you want to formulate a plan to do that, with the minimal amount of risk. And I'm gonna get to that in a second. I don't want to go too deep on that, but that's what you want to do. You want to certainly have a plan. Like it says here, you may purchase at what looks to be the lowest price. Like I said before, like you're looking at 17K and you're like, man, nah, I think it could go lower, right? But then you go on vacation for a week and this thing jump back up to 30K and you buy back in because you feel like you'd have missed it. Then it drops back down to 17, and then then it actually breaks. You get that $10,000 Bitcoin, and you're like, man, now I'm in the hole. But I didn't already drop my entire $5,000 that I wanted to invest. That is poor investing strategy. That is a poor investment strategy. There's a lot better ways to get into the market, and what they typically say is what's typically said. It's best to have time in the market than timing the market, meaning you want to consistently invest in smaller portions versus dropping a lump sum at one particular time. So that's why a lot of people, who bought in at 69K thinking we was running up to 100K, they put in their life savings and now they looking like, man, that was the worst thing that I could do. And they probably believe that crypto is terrible, and so don't attempt to time the bottom. Do not attempt to time the bottom. That is a poor strategy to try to do. No one knows what the bottom is. Like I said, 17K could have been the bottom. Do I believe that? I don't think so, because we've not been in this bear market long enough, and just based off of the market historically, we still roughly have about a year and some change to go where we could potentially consolidate. We could pop back up to 40K, but then come back down to nothing, right? Not nothing, but we can come back down to a lower number than we are now, right? And that's just us consolidating within a range, or, breaking down lower to a lower range, right? So don't attempt to time the bottom. It is not good practice, right? Let's keep moving on. And I just spoke about this briefly, but this is the preferred way of, having time in the market, right? Because when you look at cryptocurrency and the market in its entirety, and when I usually talk about crypto in its entirety, I reflect on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin directs the rest of the market. So if you're ever thinking about, especially now while we're in this bear market, if you want to know what another cryptocurrency is likely going to do in the short term, just go look at Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is driving down and it's selling off pretty hard, all the other cryptocurrencies are likely doing the same thing, unless it's like some news that's, causing it to jump for no reason. I mean, outside of what the broader market is doing. Like Elon Musk just yesterday or the day before, he mentioned that he was going to continue to buy Dogecoin. So when he mentioned that, Dogecoin jumped like 30%. And I think Shiba Inu jumped also because of the correlation with Dogecoin, right? But the rest of the market was still kind of bearish, but shortly after that, you start seeing Bitcoin start to recover a little bit, break past 19K, back above 20K. So that changed the sentiment or short-term sentiment of the market. But that is not something that consistently happens, right? Bitcoin drives the rest of the market. So let's get into it though. Right here.
Hey, I just would like to say that that's a fact. Because one thing that I do as well, like I'll look at Bitcoin sometimes, like through Sunday coming into a Monday, or even when the market's closed coming into the next day, and I'll see like what Bitcoin is doing, if it's reversing, if it's pushing up, and 9 times out of 10, if it's doing that, I've seen it doing the same thing with like the S&P 500 when the market is opening, or the mini futures while the market is closed as well. So it correlates together as well with SPY and QQQ. So always try to keep that in mind, but do your own research behind it as well. And I definitely see more downside on Bitcoin. I see I agree with D'Angelo. Some dead cap bounces, nice recovery. I believe we'll see, nice green weeks, a week or a week and a half or something like that, because nothing goes down quickly, right? And one just shot, the price aggregates. So I definitely see some green days and then more red days.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. And like Moody mentioned, yeah, Bitcoin has this, it's kind of tied to the hip. They had some of a separation in the past few weeks with the other larger markets, like the stock market. The correlation with Bitcoin and the crypto market has been tied to the hip of like the SPY or QQQ. So if you see those move in a downtrend, then typically you'll see the crypto market do the same. Or if it moves, I'll say in the last, well, I mean, everything's been going down the past few weeks, but prior to that, there was a slight window where the stock market jumped and the crypto market didn't do that. So there was a decoupling of that connection. And as cryptocurrency evolves and grows, you'll see that separation happen completely because people will have a better understanding that these markets aren't the same, and they'll act in a different manner based off of what news happens, because Bitcoin is looked at as a store of value, like it is digital gold, right? So it'll have a correlation more similar to what gold does, right? So if the dollar, I'm going on a tangent real quick, if the dollar goes up in value, right, typically gold and Bitcoin, and this is later on, you'll see the value in those decrease because they, have that interaction with each other like that. But let's get back to this. So like it says, dollar cost averaging aids savvy investors to weather downturn markets. Yeah, that's a fact. Even people who are, new to investing into anything, you can put this into practice, right? I believe on Coinbase and some of these centralized exchanges, like if you tend to keep your assets there, I can't tell you what to do, but I don't personally do that. You can still put this into practice if you are a sole custodian of your assets. You can buy daily, you can buy weekly, you can buy monthly, whatever works best for you. You can buy $10 a day, $100 a week, $500 a month, however you want to do it. But that is a practice of dollar cost averaging. Somebody said something? I don't think so. But yeah, that is a method that you can utilize to dollar cost average, and where you don't have to so much think about what the market is doing in the short term. Because when you go and zoom out at the cryptocurrency market as a whole, the market is to the right and up. It's the overall trend is bullish, long term, like very long term. This window that we have in this cycle is bearish because this is what happens in the market. This is what happens in this cycle. We flush out for about 1.5 years, 2 years. There's a significant sell-off. Then all the assets get scarce again. because more people adopt. People who are already been in cryptocurrency, they're buying in the bear market. So now there's less assets available for everybody else to buy. So now we break through a newer high in the next bull market. So 69K, I say this all the time, like a $69,000 Bitcoin is still cheap. And I say that because in the next bull run, we will break 69K because the asset will be more scarce. When we get into the next bull run, there will be more institutions adopting cryptocurrency for usage of store value or to as a means of exchange, right? And doing that, they'll have to accumulate Bitcoin to make that work, right? So yeah, you know, I go off topic sometimes. I just want y'all to understand that. But let's keep going. Dollar cost averaging reduces impact of investments lost due to price volatility. Instead of buying at high or low prices, you develop a portfolio using a time-based average price. That's just what I just mentioned, right? You can purchase daily, you can purchase hourly if you want. However you want to do, whatever works for you to, you know, have time in the market and not time the market's bottom, right? But let's keep rolling. I think that anybody got any questions about dollar cost averaging? Cool. You're making sense and making it understandable. That's what I'm trying to do. Does that make sense to everybody? Drop some ones in the chat if that makes sense to everybody. And everything that we spoke about so far. If you have any questions, unmute real quick before I keep on going. If you have any comments, unmute, speak on it, say something in the chat. Yah says you were saying something about Coinbase. I can't remember what it may have been, but Coinbase allows you to do reoccurring buys on that platform. But I'm gonna speak about centralized exchanges and shortly. During the bear market, I don't really trust centralized exchanges, and I'll get into why. I'll certainly get into why shortly. No problem, yeah, and I hope I'm saying that right. But let's keep rolling. Dollar cost averaging, make that a practice. This doesn't work for every market that you're in, but in the crypto market, oh, let me say this beforehand. You want a dollar cost average into high quality projects. You don't want a dollar cost averaging Shiba Inu. I'm gonna get off Shiba Inu, right? You don't want a dollar cost averaging the Shiba Inu because Shiba Inu could possibly not survive into the next bull market, especially with regulation coming down, especially because Shiba Inu is not doing something that's technologically different or changing in the crypto ecosystem. So I know a lot of people love Shiba Inu and I pick on it sometimes, but I just want to give y'all the best perspective in my view. Like I hold Shiba Inu, but I'm not buying anymore. What I got is what I got. If that make me a Shiba Inu millionaire, hey, it is what it is. I got it. But let's keep rolling. Oh, this is what I want to talk about relating to Coinbase or any exchange in particular, right? Get or keep your crypto off of these centralized exchanges. And I say that because they have so much control of those assets. When you have your crypto assets sitting on a centralized exchange, you do not own that asset. Like they own the asset. Like what they're allowing you to do is to trade pretty much. Like they allow you to take advantage of the price increase or decrease, right? That's all they're allowing you to do. So even though it says you got 5 Bitcoin on Coinbase, like, yeah, it's in your name. But if Coinbase goes belly up because the crypto market conditions have gotten too bad for Coinbase, Coinbase is going to do what Celsius just did this past week. They're going to say, we're stopping all withdrawals. We're stopping all withdrawals and until further notice. This has happened many times, like in bear markets before now. Like they can do that legally. And as an asset holder on that exchange, you don't have any leverage. Like you can, later on, maybe sue them if you don't get your assets back. But what likely will happen if the downturn is too bad or is very significant, and I'm not saying Coinbase will do this, but any of these centralized exchanges has the possibility of going off the deep end and never recover. Like some of the biggest exchanges in previous history, like they ran off with the bag on people. Like there was an exchange that was in Canada called Quadriga X or something like that. There's a whole movie on Netflix about this. The guy owned the exchange. He apparently died and all the funds were taken. Like that happens when you are not the sole custodian of your assets. So like I said, I don't care if it's Coinbase, Binance, Qcoin, FTX, crypto.com. Get your assets and put them in a self-custodial wallet, whether it be a hot wallet, meaning that it's accessible online, or it be a hard wallet where it's actually a physical device that you hold. Because in bear markets, things like this happen. Like it happens all the time. Like you just seen a couple weeks ago, Coinbase was like, yeah, we had salaried people hired and now we have to fire them or, release them from whatever contract because of the current market conditions. Because now them being a, publicly traded stock or security, like they have to, maintain revenue. They have to meet expectations for their quarterly financial reports. So, unless they want to go belly up, they have to start cutting and doing things to make things work for them. Now, do I believe Coinbase will go out of business? No. Coinbase has been around for a very long time. Although, I don't keep my assets on there no matter what the time period is, but especially during a bear market, I don't believe Coinbase will have any issues. Like majority of the exchanges that I just mentioned, which is Coinbase, crypto.com, FTX, Binance, Qcoin, like all of these exchanges, they've stood the test of time, and some of them for multiple bear markets. So they know how to navigate this space and be fine. They'll come out on the other end even better once the market starts to ramp back up. So, but I ain't even get to the slide, but I just want to tell y'all that specifically, right? But let's get into it a little more. So, like I've always said, and Bitcoin Zay quotes this is like his quote: not your keys, not your cheese. If you don't have the keys, the private keys to your assets, to that are holding your assets, whether it be on whatever platform, you don't actually own that asset, meaning not your cheese. Cheese meaning money, cash, whatever you want to say, but it's not yours, right? So, like I said, this holds true in almost any scenario involving centralized custodial cryptocurrency exchanges, all the ones that I mentioned. And I also said this here. During a severe bear market, however, the dangers of losing your assets stored in these exchanges become significantly greater. That is a fact. It's happened multiple times. Every bear market, these exchanges go belly up. So definitely consider and, begin, if you haven't already, like I know a lot of people are still holding cryptocurrency on Robinhood, especially on Robinhood, unless you have the new decentralized wallet that they created. If you holding your assets on Robinhood, yeah, that, like, a lot of people may have learned their lesson by holding their assets on Robinhood when they purchased, when Doge was running up, when Dogecoin was running up, they purchased Dogecoin and Robinhood would not allow them to sell. That is the level of control that they have on your assets. They won't allow you to sell when you can be profitable, and they won't allow you to sell when you in the red because you're trying to salvage any money that you still have in that investment. Like, they have that level of control. So that's why I preach, learning how to be a sole custodian of your assets in these decentralized wallets. We have a list of decentralized wallets that would be best used within the server under the DeFi wallet tab or channel. So definitely make use of those. But let's keep going. So consider what would happen if the market crashed suddenly. Hundreds of billions of dollars would be wiped from the market, leaving several exchanges insolvent. I just touched on that. That, like I said, that occurs every bear market. Some of these exchanges will not survive the bear market, especially if it extends out for a lengthy time, right? Now, just to touch on that real quick, do I believe that this market could extend year and a half, 2 years? There's a couple things, a few things maybe, that I could see this extending that long. One is because of the macroeconomics outside of cryptocurrency that are going on that could further push cryptocurrency lower or keep us in a bear market for a longer time. And that's the inflation that we're dealing with and the housing market. Like, there's a multitude of things. The pending idea that we're already in a recession, like, so those things I can see us being further pushed into a bear market for like extended amount of time, right? But I'm gonna go off of that. So to have complete control over your crypto assets, always use a non-custodial wallet, or better yet, a hardware wallet. I mentioned those two things. Make that a practice. Every time I buy cryptocurrency and I intend to hold it for a very long time or for an extended amount of time, meaning more than a week, or I say more than a month or two, I'm moving it to one of my DeFi wallets. I'm moving it to non-custodial wallet. And that's just best practice for me. Does that make sense to anybody? Does everybody know what these non-custodial wallets are? Some of the best wallets, and like I said, they're in the channel, the DeFi wallet channel. They have different use cases. Like the MetaMask wallet, I primarily use MetaMask for like my NFTs and Ethereum-based assets, Ethereum blockchain assets. I use the Trust wallet, and that is a multi-blockchain wallet as well as MetaMask is. But I use Trust wallet for primarily BNB chain tokens or assets. I use the Atomic wallet because it has a very thorough list of cryptocurrencies that most wallets don't have. I use the Exodus wallet because it has some staking capability. So there's a ton of them out there, and we have listed in that channel. I want y'all to take a look at those. But let's keep on moving. Not your keys, not your cheese. Remember that. All right, number 5. And this is something that myself, Moody, Jordan, and a few other people within the server have been doing to, make money during this downtrend. You need to, if you know how to trade and you know how to form technical analysis and reading the charts, like if you have the ability to do that and you have money or funds to invest and trade the downtrend and short the market, like that is a practice that you can put in place that will allow you to, as the market is on a downturn, you can make money and then go buy more assets with that money that you made. Let me see. Somebody said something. Yeah, Coinbase Wallet it's actually a good wallet. I don't utilize Coinbase Wallet. I do have one, but I don't have anything in it. But Coinbase Wallet is actually a very good wallet, and it is a decentralized wallet. Now, I'm gonna say this briefly though. If you move Ethereum blockchain related assets into your wallet, you need to have Ethereum in your wallet. And what I mean is, right, because you'll need Ethereum for transaction fees. So say you have, let me think of Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is on the Ethereum blockchain. You move Shiba Inu into your Coinbase wallet, and Shiba Inu goes to a penny like a lot of people believe it's going to do. It goes to a penny. Now you're a millionaire. You're going to need Ethereum to process the transaction for you to cash out and get your $1 million. So keep that in mind. When you move your assets into these decentralized wallets, depending on which blockchain you're operating on, you're gonna need that asset's transactional coin or token to process the transactions within that wallet. But for example, like I said, Shiba Inu is on the Ethereum blockchain. You need Ethereum to do anything with that asset, whether it be sell that asset or transfer that asset back to an exchange or transfer that asset to another wallet. So keep that in mind. That's with any of these wallets. But if you intend to hold for a very long time, still have Ethereum or whatever blockchain that you utilize, and keep that transactional token in there, for emergency purposes. Keep some in there for the transactions, right? But let's keep on rolling. So like I said, short the market. There's a few ways to short the market. You can go on to one of these exchanges that we utilize within the server, like myself and Jordan, we utilize Qcoin. Jordan likes to short the market using futures. Like I in particular use some spot tokens that are actually like triple leverage bull or bear tokens that are on Qcoin. So I short the market doing it that way. You can also trade on BitGet and Bybit. One of those aren't accessible for US based users. So you'll have to have a VPN. So it's a little bit more complicated, but those are options for exchanges. Now, what I particularly like to do, like where I, prefer to trade, is I trade crypto in the Forex market, right? So you have a decent amount of choices depending on which broker you use in the Forex market. I personally use Hugo's Way to trade crypto in the Forex market by utilizing the MetaTrader 4 platform. But that is my preferred way to short the market, or even, catch a bounce for crypto. So I can make money whether the market is going up or down. Same as if you would do it with trading options or trading currency pairs in the Forex market. But that is my preferred way to trade crypto primarily, is on the foreign exchange market, right? So you would just have to figure out what works best for you. Like, what are you more comfortable with? What platform you are more comfortable using, right? But like I said, because of the substantial risk involved, short is not suggested for new traders. That is a fact. But if you understand technical analysis and you also factor in some of the fundamentals that are occurring outside of or within the media or the news or the FUD, like if you keep abreast with that information, you'll be fine if you are successful trading options in the stock market on your own and you're a profitable trader. You can do the same thing in cryptocurrency. The great thing about cryptocurrency is 24 hours a day. There's always a market for cryptocurrency. That is, well, it's one of the only markets, not the only, but one of the only markets you can trade 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Even the currency pairs in the foreign exchange market, they come to a halt from, I believe it's the afternoon or evening on Friday, and they kick back up on Sunday or something like that. So, but cryptocurrency, you can short it. You could have been shorting Bitcoin from 69K all the way down to where we are right now and not exit a trade. There's no time decay that you would have in options, trading options in the stock market. There's none of that. So that's a plus what you have with cryptocurrency. And that's why I love to short it in the foreign exchange market. So like it says here, only invest money that or trade money that you can afford to lose. Like that's with anything, but you know, I'm sure you've heard that before, but keep that in mind because you don't want to be losing short in the market and losing value in the assets that you have invested. Like you don't want to be down $15,000, $20,000 in cryptocurrency. And now you're trying to short the downside and you're losing also because you're not skilled enough to trade the downside or any time in the market. Like you want to be able to effectively trade to kind of create a balance to what your long-term investment is doing. So you can buy more assets to add to that long-term portfolio, right? And I mentioned this already. Also keep up with current events in the market so you can predict any price changes. And you won't necessarily predict the price changes, but you have an idea in which the market may move, whether it be to the downside or upside. The only way that I see we move to the upside is if we have some favorable regulation to come out that's favorable for cryptocurrency, which I highly doubt is going to occur. Or we have some wild event that we get, you know, a crazy amount of adoption, or they say the US has adopted Bitcoin as a form of currency like El Salvador. We get something like that, then yeah, we'll get a pop and then we'll get some crazy regulation to push us back down. But stay abreast with the market, understand what's going on. I'm not skilled enough to trade. Yeah, so if you're not skilled enough to trade, we do have crypto signal trades that come out, just like we have options signals that come out within the server. So like with anything, whether you are, you know, doing your own research and learning about cryptocurrency, like I mentioned before, or with the current market conditions, even if you're getting into these signals, you want to also, you know, try to analyze that trade also, whether it be prior to, if you have the time to do so, if the trade is put out, to just more so give you some practice at understanding how to trade or try to figure out what that skilled trader or that profitable trader is seeing that makes them be able to be the signal. Like I know when I first got into trading, my goal was to become the signal, like be successful enough to provide signals. And ultimately, if you're trading in any of these markets, you want to have that goal also. Like you don't want to be on life support is what I call it. So just keep that in mind. Y'all say y'all not skilled enough yet. I would suggest, like, you know, looking into the signals that we have. Those signals have been very good. I don't know if not a lot of people are utilizing them, but we get crypto signals daily. Jordan was putting out a ton of crypto signals a few days ago or yesterday, I believe. So there's signals coming out constantly that you can capitalize on when the stock market is closed. So just keep that in mind. But y'all will get there. Don't worry. Just stick to learning, remain a student in all of this. But short the market. Make money while the market is going down in crypto. And let's keep rolling. Last thing, number 6, feed the brain, AKA educate yourself. Now, the first thing that I mentioned was do your own research. And this kind of aligns itself with that. But when I say feed your brain during the downturn of this market, a lot of people get disinterested in cryptocurrency, because it's not fun anymore because they're not seeing their assets grow. But do number 5, short the market, and you can still make money, right? But when I say feed your brain, there's so many ways or so many things that are developing cryptocurrency that you'd be wowed every time you read new things about crypto and start learning about the underlying technology that has crypto at the forefront of the latest form of currency that we will eventually utilize globally, right? But let's roll into it. Like it says here, education. Acquire a foundational knowledge of cryptocurrencies and the economical issues that they may be able to assist in resolving in order to improve your ability to analyze the possible uses of cryptocurrency. Right there, learn about all of the different things that cryptocurrency can resolve, or like I said, the technology in itself. There's going to be so many different use cases for blockchain technology. And that's what powers cryptocurrency, blockchain technology. What I like to say is relating to the blockchain and blockchain technology in comparison to the internet. My saying is this: the internet made the world smaller, but the blockchain will make the world transparent. And I say that because you can't go to your bank and say, I want to see every transaction. I put $100,000 in there here yesterday, and I want to know what y'all are doing with my money. They will never show you what they're doing with your money when you deposit. But what resolves that is the blockchain. And when you deposit whatever asset onto the blockchain, or you purchase something from somebody on the blockchain, from that moment forward, you'll be able to track where those assets are going, whether they divide them up, send them to their cousin, send some of it to their mama, put it in their another wallet that they hold. You can track everything. So when I say understand what blockchain technology does and what it can provide to the world, globally, it won't just be in the form of cryptocurrency. It will be in a form of identification. We already seeing blockchain technology being implemented with NFTs. And like I said, understand what are NFTs? What will NFTs evolve from during this bull market to the next bull market? Just roughly not even a month ago, Vitalik Buterin, he mentioned that one thing that's going to be very prominent in the future is soul tokens, which is a form of an NFT, but this is a permanent record that can't be changed on the blockchain. And those tokens will be a degree, a college degree. You'll be able to view that on the blockchain. It'll be a permanent record, or a form of identification, a passport, high school diploma, things that you won't have to physically hold, but somebody can go on the blockchain and say, okay, yeah, this person does have this degree in this. This person does have this passport to access, or have access to go to this country. All of these things, the blockchain will resolve as far as confirming or confirmation that we lack today. It'll be a lot less fraudulent things going on. That's a detriment to some people who are frauds. But, you know, if you want to not be a victim of fraud, you know what I'm saying? The blockchain will resolve that. And I say this all the time, that cryptocurrency is like the Trojan horse for blockchain technology. Yeah, it's pretty right now, but blockchain technology, like if you have children that are going to school right now and they don't really have a direction, but you want to kind of groom them or guide them into a sector that's going to be booming, that is booming already, but that's going to be very prevalent in the future. Have them learn, like I believe the job title would more so align with like a software engineer, but have them understand what the blockchain does. Like they can get involved now. Like there's blockchain gaming. There's a ton of stuff like that. So education, like learn during this time, like really dig in the books. Well, you ain't gotta dig in the books all the time, but there's a lot of like informative, like YouTubers, communities, like our community. Like you can ask me a ton of questions. If I know it, I'm gonna tell you that I know it. If I don't know it, we're gonna find out together what that question is. So educate, feed your brain, like really dig into the possibilities of cryptocurrency and the technology that brought cryptocurrency to the forefront of our financial systems and what it will potentially be to all of us globally, right? I think somebody was unmuted. No, we're good. So yeah, I'm about to go into the conclusion, but anybody got any questions on the last couple slides? If y'all got any questions, drop them in the chat, unmute yourself. You got any comments, feel free to unmute yourself. Because the last part of this class, I want to go into a AMA. So if you don't have a question, if you trying to formulate a question, go and get it together before I do the conclusion of what we covered. Because I want to just open this up into like an open forum. We don't have to talk about the subjects that I covered today. We can talk about anything in crypto. So if you have any questions that I can answer or I'll try to answer, like feel free to drop those questions. If we don't have any questions, then we'll end it here. But yeah, I'll be open in just a second, but let's conclude this thing. So in conclusion, I spoke about 6 different ways to, you know, weather the storm of this crypto bear market and survive it and be more well off, whether it be, you know, your investment is doing better or you've been educated and understand what we're dealing with going forward, right? And these are those 6 different ways. So like I said, you want to keep calm, do your own research, understand this current market condition and the sentiments of the market, and understand like how to best navigate the current conditions of the market, right? But most importantly, keep calm. Like I said, I forget who mentioned earlier, they said they were down 15K. Like, understand what assets that you're invested in, and 15K, depending on how much you invested and what you invested into, it could be a situation where you may need to cut, you know what I'm saying, and take a loss. 15K is hard to swallow. But if you're in an asset, like the assets that I mentioned before, and this is just me speaking in general, like the assets that I will hold no matter what, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and a few other assets that I'm looking at to view like that, like they will likely survive no matter what's going on, regulation, like they will survive and they will grow to be bigger in value than what they are today, right? Or what they were at the peak of this previous bull market, right? So, but keep calm, keep a level head, understand what you get into, understand the assets that you already got into, and figure out if they're worth keeping or cutting, right? Number two, don't attempt to time the bottom. None of us have a crystal ball. Like even with the amount of information that we have, whether it be technical or fundamental analysis, we do not know enough about cryptocurrency to know if there's a bottom or when it went to 69K, if that was the top. We can only go based off of the short history of cryptocurrency. And even though it's been over 10 years now, it's still a short window in comparison to all of the other markets that we have out there. Excuse me. Practice dollar cost averaging. Now, dollar cost averaging does not work in every market, but in the cryptocurrency market, when you're dollar cost averaging into these, proven assets that are very good quality projects that will sustain multiple bear markets, they will sustain any like improvement of the technological advancements in crypto. You want to practice dollar cost averaging, right? Whether it be on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, whatever you have the ability to contribute to make your investment better off, right? Then the fourth thing, keep your crypto off these centralized exchanges. Like, I'm not telling you to do it, but this is like a lot of the exchanges nowadays, they're a lot better than they were in years past, but we just seen it with Celsius. Now, Celsius isn't a exchange, but is a centralized entity that has the ability to hold your assets and tell you when and where or how you can get them when they choose to do so. You don't want anybody to have that ability. And I know like in the traditional markets, like we're accustomed to a bank, maintaining our assets, maintaining our money. But in cryptocurrency, like you want to eventually weed yourself away to be the sole custodian of your assets. So you have complete control and they can't say or do things with your assets when they choose to do so, right? Now the fifth thing, this is for people who are more advanced and know how to read technical analysis, know how to understand the sentiment of the broader market fundamentally, and you can short the market. You can short these assets on the way down and make money to accumulate more assets later on. So at a lower number. So that is key. That's something that, like I said, myself, Moody, and Jordan have been practicing on the way down, and a few more members within the server. So take advantage of those signals that come out, because you can still be making money in crypto, and it'll kind of like continue to pique your interest in this sector, because you could still make money, just like trading options or trading currency pairs and Forex, right? Last thing, feed your brain. Understand blockchain technology. Understand what every cryptocurrency you are invested in and how they're building within their ecosystem. Like, understand every asset that you hold and understand if it's still like worth holding that asset. Understand like if they're building something that's gonna be like, or if they have built something that's, years ahead of the rest of the assets that's within that sector. Like, understand everything about everything you hold, and just continue to feed your brain. But that is the conclusion of what we covered today. Like I said, we're gonna go into the AMA. If y'all have any questions, I don't care what it's about, like chime in, ask them right now. So y'all got the floor. You can unmute yourself. You can drop your questions in the chat. If you don't have anything, then we gonna log off. But I'll be here to answer anything y'all may have.
How's it going, D-Wiz? I got a question.
Gotcha, bro.
So you mentioned the DeFi wallets.
Yes.
I have a Nano. I have a Ledger Nano, I think X, and that's like a hard wallet. So the ones you mentioned is pretty much like virtual wallet. I have a MetaMask and the Trust wallet as well. I'm just curious as to like how do you feel about the hard wallets like the ledgers and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I think they're important. So I did mention those briefly. So like, yes, the hard wallets, yes, they're certainly important. Like those are another layer of security that you would have, because even these hot wallets, like they can be exploited also. So
Okay.
they give you another layer of protection from dealing with centralized exchanges, but the best security that you can have is, like you said, with those the physical wallets, these hard wallets, these ledgers, these wallets of that nature. So yeah, most definitely, I highly recommend holding those. Now, I've mentioned this in the class before. With these hard wallets, you don't have the issue of security, whether it be like because you connect online and somebody, stealing your assets like that so much.
Right.
But the issue that you have comes in the physical nature. Like, never disclose the assets that you hold. I don't care where you hold them at. Never disclose them, because especially if you have your assets on a hardware wallet, don't show anybody that you have a hardware wallet, because most people don't have physical security sitting at their door, 24 hours a day. If you have 100 Bitcoin on your physical wallet and you let your neighbor know that, like, your neighbor might be coming through your window one night.
Right.
Coming to get that.
I was thinking, my bank, they offer like, if you got a certain amount, you're able to like keep your, they give you a box in the bank.
Yep.
And you can keep your stuff in the box. Like, you go in there with a key, like it's like your own private, like it doesn't get any safer than this, unless they, rob the bank and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But it's not at home, physically. So like that's one of the main reasons why I like the Trust wallet and the MetaMask. But I also heard that MetaMask wasn't safe. So I've been putting my NFTs on there, but I wasn't, every time I kind of download or connect, I'm always like, feel like I'm just like taking a chance, you know what I'm saying? So,
yes. So what I would suggest with those hot wallets, whether it be MetaMask, Trust, they're fairly safe, right? But if you have assets that are significant value, like say you have NFTs like a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT on your MetaMask wallet, like put that on your physical device, put that on your hardware wallet, because you're not going to be interacting with that. Any asset that you don't intend to interact with, whether it be transfer, trading, like put that on a hardware wallet. Now, not every asset can be put on some of these hardware wallets, so just keep in mind of that, because they may not have the software to maintain those assets. So I don't know specifically every one, but just keep that in mind. But yeah, like I said, anything that you don't intend to transfer, like you're gonna be holding that and you're not gonna interact with on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, put that on a hardware wallet. And like you just mentioned, that is the best thing to do. And I always say this also, and I said on the class before, if you have a hardware wallet, you put assets on your hardware wallet, I would say the best practice, like you mentioned, put that hardware wallet in a safe deposit box at a bank. Do not leave it in the same place you lay your head at. Like, keep that in good practice, because now you have to defend that wallet, at all costs. Like if you had real gold at your house, like, and somebody knows you have it, like you have to physically defend that because it's at your house, right? So I would say that's a commandment. I relate. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I'm just saying you dropping gems for real. Like everything you just said, like big gems. Seriously. I also remember when you once told me, like, even with your private keys, the ones that that you're gonna pass down your generation, and you have a private wallet that you're not gonna be utilizing at all, and you're just holding cryptocurrency for the long term on it. You can also like, if you have children, give this person 3 private keys, this person 3 private keys, that person 3 private keys, and at a certain age, um, you know, it gets revealed to them where now they have access to a certain income that you have created for them, right?
Yeah, that's a fact. Like you can create that process however you feel to do it. Like you have multiple children and you want them all to, like Moody just said, like if you want them all to get a piece of the pie, um, when you leave this earth for whatever reason, right? You can set it up that way. Like you can have it go to one person. You can have it, part of these assets. You can have multiple wallets go to completely different individuals. So, but you certainly want to do that. So you want to have, like I mentioned before, you want to have your physical and hot wallets, secured properly. But then you also, most importantly, because without this, you can't even access those. You want to have your private keys secured just as much as you have those wallets secured, right? Or like the hard wallet. You want to have them separate from those wallets also, because if someone has your private keys, especially if it's a hot wallet, all they have to do is download that wallet on the phone, put in your private keys. Now they have all your assets. So that is a a convenience for you, but it's a convenience for a crook also. So just keep that in mind. Never keep your private keys in the same location where you have access to your wallet. So if you have your private keys on the same phone where you keep your wallets, or the same laptop where you keep your hot wallets, you are asking for somebody to take your assets. Always separate them. Make that a practice. Soon as you create that wallet, write it down physically. Store it somewhere safe, away from the device that you maintain that wallet on, right? Somebody said here, how do you select the wallet? So the wallet will be based off of what you're using it for, right? Like I mentioned with the hot wallets, some wallets are specific to a blockchain. So like I'll say like XRP. XRP has a wallet called the Zoom wallet, and only XRP blockchain assets are on that, or can be stored on that wallet. But then you have wallets, like I mentioned before, you have MetaMask and you have like the Trust wallet. Those are like, those are Web3 wallets. Those wallets allow you to have an in-app browser to access decentralized applications, decentralized exchanges, and their multi-chain wallets. So you can store damn near any crypto asset in those wallets. So it all depends on the usage in which you need that wallet for. And then, like I said, the hardware wallets, they perform the same function. Some of them are multi-blockchain wallets that allow you to store multiple assets of various blockchains on those wallets also. So that's what you want to consider. And like I said, we have a list of DeFi, wallets in the Discord server. So if you have any questions relating to the ones in there, like I have some that aren't in there that I utilize for different reasons, likely because they're like specific to a blockchain and they can only hold one type of asset. Like just ask us questions relating to those if you're trying to store your assets on those wallets. What are the things you look for? I'm assuming that relates to the question right above, but I don't completely understand that question. So just rephrase it if you could, and I'll come back to it. So besides BTC and ETH, what are some of the best to dollar cost average for long term? Trying to have at least 5, including BTC and ETH. So I would say top 5: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, and Avalanche for me right now. And I named all of those because all of those are, for one, they have smart contract capabilities. They're leading in they're like the leading blockchain related assets that have like multi-function purposes, right? Well, most of them. Bitcoin has its primary function, but that's granddad. But those will be like some of my top 5. There's a few more that I would add to that, that I will be dollar cost averaging, or I have been dollar cost averaging into. But like I said, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, and Avalanche right now. I could say a few more, but yeah, those are top that I mess with right now.
I'm just curious, XRP is now on your list, like your top 5 XRP?
XRP is there.
Okay.
So it's right, like it's on 5. Like
Okay.
the battle for 5 could be like XRP. I could even put XLM there, but
I was thinking that too, yeah.
so I could put, there's a few more that I could put
Like
there, right?
a little more before XRP. I like Ripple though. I like their technology, but we'll see. We'll see. I want to hear what you had to say about that, D'Angelo. I'm really interested.
About what? Which one?
XRP trickling away to like your 6th or 7th coin on your list.
So the only reason why XRP is at 5, and it could be at 3, it could be at 4, but it's because it hasn't resolved this issue with the SEC. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Besides that, I believe XRP will be heavily adopted globally. You know, XRP, when I first got into crypto, it was getting a lot of heat because people was calling it like it's not even cryptocurrency, blah, 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 blah. Like, is it gonna make me some money? Yes, because it's gonna be adopted by these institutions that they, you know, and not just institutions, like they've been speaking with countries to possibly create XRP as one of their CBDCs. So it's going to be adopted heavily, I believe. And once this SEC issue goes away, like I believe XRP will remain, like if it's not there now, I can't remember. It will grow significantly and remain in the top 5 of cryptocurrencies because of that. So
how did you
go ahead.
How do you personally buy XRP?
So you can buy XRP right now on KuCoin. That's where I buy XRP, but I don't hold it there. I hold my XRP in the Zoom wallet, which is spelled XUMM. That is the primary wallet for the XRP ledger.
Why do you hold it there, D'Angelo? See, I'm gonna ask the question.
Because I don't keep my assets on centralized exchange.
Okay, cool.
That's the main reason. But also
abilities.
I don't think it does. I haven't looked at it in a while.
Right,
I don't think it does. But I keep it there also because on the XRP ledger, and when I say ledger, that's the same as blockchain. On the XRP ledger, they have a lot of opportunities. If you keep XRP in that wallet, you get airdrops from these random tokens all the time that you can accumulate value from. Like for having XRP on my Zoom wallet, I got an airdrop for a project called Sologenics. I got an airdrop for Sologenics for just having XRP in that wallet. Sologenics is a really dope project on the XRP ledger. But now for having Sologenics in my wallet, I got an airdrop for the blockchain that Sologenics team has built called Corium. So that's just because I had XRP sitting in that wallet. So it gives you opportunities like that. And that's why I have XRP in the Zoom wallet. Now, then it said, I have Ledger.
Real
Go
quick,
ahead, bro.
Look, I know we're talking about XRP, but one thing I would say, and I stand behind this one, is dollar cost averaging into CRO, CRO. Crypto.
Most definitely.
Yeah, crypto.com's token. And also like when you're thinking about dollar cost averaging, like don't think too much of like even great projects, like Polkadot, anything else. Like those are great projects as well. But my mindset automatically goes straight to like blockchain and my bad, I muted myself, and exchange coins as well. So like BNB, like Binance, Crow, they've already
FTX.
shown that they can survive through a bear market, and they also shown the amount of recovery and how healthy they are when they do recover, right? So I would definitely say being I was about to say Airbnb, my bad, I'm sick. BNB, Binance, and Crow. I'm gonna think of another one too, but
I
yeah.
agree with you, Moody. FTX, they have a token also.
Yeah.
FTX is doing major things. The only thing with FTX, they don't actually have a blockchain that they've developed, but their token is called FTT. So, like Moody said, Crow, BNB are great. Like their BNB is a carbon copy of Ethereum with cheaper fees, and they're still developing. So, like I'm still bullish on BNB and Crow. They are like outliers of my top 5 because they are exchanges and they have more vulnerability because of that due to regulation. But I still love those coins also. We about to come up on 2 hours, and I don't know if this is gonna kick us off, but if it does, if y'all are interested, I'll just jump back on and drop another link. But I just want y'all to know just in case it goes out. But let me answer these questions here. I have Ledger also, which is one of the best security standards wise when it comes to encryption. Most definitely. Just don't lose your private keys. Listen to Dennis.
And real quick, with us talking about blockchain coins and things of that nature, keep your eyes out on Russia because it's just in like 18 hours ago. It says the Russian government has created a blockchain platform to replace the SWIFT system. And everybody knows what's been going on, right, behind the scenes, and with them getting sanctioned, what's been going on with them with SWIFT and things of that nature, being able to like make transactions or do anything, right, is detrimental to their growth, right? So I'm really interested on seeing if they come out with a token for it and how it develops as well. So keep your eyes out for that because that could also a quick like just bull push.
That's news to me, Moody, but I didn't know about that. But with that being said, like think about how that could affect XRP. XRP is at a standstill, and XRP is supposed to be looked at as a digital payment system to possibly replace SWIFT. So just think about that and how it could affect XRP with them developing that. Now, with that happening and Russia not being one of our allies, I don't see us adopting whatever they created, but that could be, a power move on their behalf that they can get other countries to utilize with them, giving them oil. Like they may require people to pay specifically using that system to get their oil. So it's a lot of ways to, think about that. But then it says also Ledger, and I'm sure other hardware wallets have fail-safe mechanisms in place, aka will erase all contents on that device after a failed number of invalid PIN entries. That's a fact. Is there a list of characteristics that are important in a crypto wallet? I am new to terminology. There's a list of characteristics that are important. Security is the top one. Like if you are getting into a wallet and they have had so many vulnerabilities where people are losing their assets or being hacked, which there's not a lot of them out there that people continuously utilize after that. But that is the number one thing, is security. Like how well have they been securing assets for individuals over time? But that is the main thing. Like, and then functionality. Sometimes these wallets, like I'll tell you, Atomic Wallet, like it's a great wallet because it has some of the most tokens that you can store in a wallet, but that wallet doesn't update, consistently. It doesn't update the price action. So sometimes I have to send out a message to them and be like, hey, you know, this asset is this price now, and like it doesn't reflect what the actual value of my cryptocurrency is. So I have to like tell them about that, and they haven't fixed it. So it continuously do it. But as far as security, I don't have any issues with them. I already have XRP wallet, Ripple cryptocurrency exchange. I just went and downloaded Zoom XRP wallet. Okay, dope. That's good. If you put, well, like I mentioned before, if you put any assets onto that XRP wallet, the Zoom wallet, just make sure you always have XRP in there. If you're buying other assets that are on the XRP ledger, just always have XRP on there for transaction fees. How about KAI on Qcoin? KAI is the Qcoin, what being, yeah, most definitely. Qcoin is actually my favorite exchange. So that coin that they have, like, I'm not personally invested into it because I'm not invested into a lot of exchange tokens that don't have blockchain backing with them. But I would say that would be a good coin to have. The Qcoin's coin. Breaking digital news. Yeah, appreciate that, Moody, because I didn't know that, bro, about that that news about Russia. So that was all the questions here. I'm still open to questions if we don't fall off this thing. So if y'all have any,
Bro, you gonna be on here all night.
man, you know I can talk this all day. You know, we be putting 5 hours in sometimes. So just, you know, bouncing information off each other. So
No, yeah, that's a fact, man. Get you some rest though, man. We're gonna keep doing this. I definitely want to just start like just even when the market's open, or we could do it when the market's closed, just jumping on live and like sharing our screen, or do it with a Zoom and like just have people watch videos that we be watching and like how we research, just so like they could research with us, or, you know, just learn how to research in general. But definitely we gotta make it happen, bro.
yeah, we're gonna do that most definitely.
Drop
Yeah,
a chat if y'all would like that, so we can know that y'all would like that.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Before this thing cut off, which I don't know if it is or not, if y'all don't mind, drop some information relating to what you learned today in the general chat. You can drop it in the crypto chat, but preferably the general chat. So I know that y'all actually picked up what I was putting down today relating to how to navigate this crypto winter, and, you know, the best practices to utilize during this time frame. So please do that. You know, give me some feedback, how we can improve, what y'all like to see in any of the future classes. Like Moody just said, with us hopping on live, like we could do that. I just want to know if y'all have that interest, so we're not wasting each other's time by doing so. But I'll be more than open to doing that on a more regular basis, so y'all can, you know, get this knowledge on the regular. Like, it don't have to be every Monday. You know what I mean? It could be daily if the interest is there. Like, I have the time. So yeah, y'all just let me know. But definitely drop, you know, some feedback in the chat so we can keep on building this thing, and y'all keep on learning. We keep on learning together. We keep on growing together. We weather this storm, which is the crypto bear market. So thank y'all.
Appreciate you, D'Angelo. Thank you for all the information, everything that you continue to provide, bro. Really appreciate you, bro. And I checked the chat. People definitely want that to want it to happen and stuff like that. For me, just drop it in the Discord too, because I'll be forgetting stuff, and I'm sick right now, so I know I'll probably forget. But yeah, I know that'll definitely help everybody. It helped me because D'Angelo started doing it with me, and I was just like, oh, okay, so this is what you do. Okay, got you.
Yeah,
But yeah,
most definitely.
have a
Thank
blessed one.
y'all.
Appreciate you again, D'Angelo, and thank everybody else as well. My
Yeah,
bad, bro.
most definitely. No, thank you too, bro. Like, I appreciate you always being here. Yeah, thank you, D. X-Man, appreciate y'all. And let's keep on moving. Let's keep on growing in this space.